In today's video, we take on hardcore Minecraft in just 100 days. I had 3 goals for these 100 days. My first was to build a beautiful mountain base. The second was to create the ultimate dog army. And finally was to kill the Wither, and I was going to do this all without getting an ounce of blood on my hands. That's right, you heard me. My plan was to dominate Minecraft hardcore without ever directly hurting anyone. To start off the journey, I did something majestic, something unthinkable, yeah, I just kind of punched some trees. The normal Minecraft start. I did find some pumpkins though, right near a cave where I managed to get some coal and some cobblestone, starting off my journey correctly. But I was not going in deeper. Won't catch me slipping today, Minecraft. These cheeks are protected by my smarts. Then I found a ship, got hooked up with iron as well as a treasure map. I ended the day by making a shear and then a bed so that I could lay my weary head down, catch much very needed Z's. On day 2, I hopped on that treasure map like Mr. Krabs and immediately started looking for me buried treasure. Not too far from the sunken Dutchman ship, I found it and got some really good loot and food. See, being a pacifist means that I would have to start a farm, which means I'd probably starve before, so this was a really good start. Using the accumulated iron, I made some iron armor. Yeah, that's right, praise me. Day 2 and I already got iron armor. On day 3, I made a shield so I could protect myself in case some silly little mob thought I was easy game. Eventually found a village and looted it, then watched my fish drown. After I held a small memorial for my fish, a skelly decided he wanted to join my fish in the Nether realm. So I watched him burn to death and stole his bones. Spent the rest of the day adventuring. It was day 5 and I was off to a great start. This day I found a fishing rod with mending and a village with a pillager outpost right next to it. Then I made the smart decision and decided to make my base here. This way, if something were to happen to the villagers, I could watch the carnage from the safety of my house. Yeah, not much excitement here, just making my humble mountain base, which involves a large clearing of the mountain. So I spent the rest of these days starting to make a mob farm, along with clearing out space for my base. This lasted a while, but if I wanted wolves, I would need bones, and the only way to get bones is through skeletons, and as a pacifist who's never seen a drop of blood in his life, well, the only way to kill, I think you could see where I'm headed here. No? I was making an auto mob farm for bones. On this day I realized something. It's something that has followed me my entire adult life and seemed to be able to cross over the barrier of reality and game. Yeah, that's right, I was broke. AKA I was ironless and poor. So off to strip mining I go. Went down to level 8, but I think level 12 was supposed to be the level for diamond, so I had to crawl my way back up a little bit. And then I spent the rest of day 13 and 14 mining for diamond. Got 2 skellies to fight each other. The taller one seemed to smack the other one like Will Smith did to Chris Rock at the Oscars. Day 16, finally finished the mob farm. Now it's time to fish and idle. While fishing, I got an enchanted book with Silk Touch, Unbreaking 3, and Protection 3. This is god tier loot. Just sad I forgot about it till now. Also, fell and almost died, so yeah, this day was a roller coaster of emotions. Collected some animals and then watched them mate. Now it's time to make a farm. I basically spent all of day 17 doing this. Day 18 was a boring day. I mostly idled for more bones. Then I went to get chickens. I had finally found one, and it had dropped an egg on the way to its pen. I threw it and got a second one. My luck was A1 right now. Days 19 to 20, I mostly just worked on farm and animal breeding. Day 21, and it was time for an adventure. I went looking for a dog because I wanted my companion for life. On my journey, I had found an underground tavern, and I had to explore it. While exploring, I saw that it was getting dangerously close to night. So I collected the webs on the wall to make wool to sleep, because you're not gonna catch me slipping in Minecraft. Not today. Day 22, it was time to go back to exploring, because the cave was too dangerous and slime don't play that. Days 23 through 34 was spent exploring and looking for a dog. On day 34, I had finally found a dog. That's right, it took me 11 days to find some dogs. When I had finally found one, I was excited. And I had screamed like a little schoolgirl. But we'll keep that under hush. I had spent these days venturing back to base, but when I had gotten back, I realized none of my dogs followed me back. So yeah, I was actually very mad about this. I mean, it took me 11 days to finally find some dogs, and when I had finally gotten back, none of them followed me. I had 7 to 8 dogs at the end of my journey. It was heartbreaking. So when I got back, I just spent the rest of the time at the mob farm to reset my mind and my bone stock. This lasted until day 39. Day 39, I heard a pillager, by my base, and did the only reasonable thing I could think of. I traveled over to their outpost and set their house on fire. I almost died like 2 to 3 times doing this, but it was worth the risk. That satisfaction was too good to pass up. Day 40 through 41, it was time to look for a dog again. On day 42, I had finally found another dog. The first one that I tried to tame took most of my bones, but luckily the second one only took 1. This was a lot quicker, and if I had just went the opposite way that I went the first time, it would have saved me a lot of time, and I needed time. This was the one thing I was desperate for the entire series. Found a cave on the way back and got scared my dogs would die, so I ended up not exploring it. Because if they died, I'd have to go out and find more, and I didn't have the days. So I went back to the surface and headed back to base. On my way, I saw a bunch of villagers trapped by rushing water. These guys will be my test dummies eventually. Spent the rest of the day to breed my dogs while chilling in the mob farm. Day 44. Continued the same process of farming, breeding, and idling in mob farm till about day 50. Yeah, day 51 to 53, all I did was work on house while breeding and chilling in the mob farm. This was all so I could get enough rotten meat to make more of my dogs, and cleared out a lot more space in my mountain base. Look at my dogs, but I'm gonna need a ton more of these if I want to take on the Wither. So It was off to the mob grinder for a really long time. This lasted all the way up until day 60. It was day 61 and I had finally accomplished it. I was able to overexceed the farm animal capacity, and now the older ones die to make room for the younger ones who have just matured. This means I have a way to get infinite amount of meat other than my mob farm. And this blew up my wolf army. Now it was time to go grab some hay bales so I have enough wheat to do a mass feeding. It was tiring to constantly jump in and out. Plus the animals kept escaping, so I decided to make it automated using some hoppers and water. Day 62 was mostly spent working on the house. While working on the house, I had saw a zombie creepily following me the entire time. So I gave him a fake number after he'd constantly been asking for it. I then broke his ankles hitting him with the Jukum Jamie. After that, I never heard from him again. I guess his pride might have been hurt or damaged, or maybe it was the fact that he fell off a cliff, but who knows. I spent these days messing around with the animal farm while breeding the dogs. I also constantly checked the animal farm, and I was getting leather and meat. This was perfect. Day 66. Got sand. Yes, that's all I did for the day. On day 67, I finally smarted up, made a sugar farm, then decided to port some villagers over. But not before looting the rest of the beds in the village next to me. To port them over, I put them in a boat, made a dirt path to my base. I then boated them over. I spent the last of these 2 days working on the villager spot. I wanted to give them a comfy jail cell, a comfy home. Day 70. This day I watched the villagers make love to my peephole. Then gave them some more carrots as a thank you for the show. Yeah, day 71 was I kind of went idle because I was ordering food. In my defense though, I need food to live. Day 72, spent whole day mating dogs and watching them do the dirty deed. Oh yeah, I also farmed. It was time for some dungeon exploring. Finally had enough dogs that I felt comfortable taking 2 with me to take on the mobs. Plus I needed to find diamond for, diamond stuff. After a short exploration of the cave near base, I realized dogs are not going to be able to handle creepers. Even though they can handle everything else, the creepers were going to be a problem. I needed cats. But I only have 17 days left, and it would take too long to find a jungle biome, so I gave up on the idea. On day 74, I went into the mine, and it seems like it was a pointless endeavor. I don't know why strip mining is not as good as I remember it, but it's definitely not the way anymore. I haven't even found iron yet. But this was the only safe way I could think of to get the resources I needed to progress. I didn't have that many days left. I had remembered that I saw an underground tunnel on my way back from the dog hunt. And I'm gonna see if I can find that spot again. And just hope there's a lava pool next to it. So I went off exploring. Day 76, I did a little dancey dance when I found the lava pool. Cause now I'm gonna make another portal. The cheesy way. While attempting to make the Nether portal, I messed up and ended up covering almost the entire lava pool with water. I also got a jump scare from some pillagers just staring at me while I was in the process of making the nether portal. Such creeps. This must be how the villagers see me when I stare at them, how they do their dirty deeds. Anyway, had to go looking for flint and iron. I had found a cave near the portal and got to exploring. Found some iron, coal, and used the last of the lava to get rid of some zombies. Yes, I know, an ingenious solution to my pacifist ways. I smelted the iron, made an iron pickaxe, some flint and steel, and got the nether portal up. Yes, I know I wasn't ready for the nether yet, but I figured it was best to record the coordinates and start heading back for enchants. On day 77, I made it back to base, and the portal was really close to it. Now it was time to re-roll some librarians and get these enchants started. Day 78 was mostly filled with messing with the villagers. I spent a really long time to get the books I wanted. I had to keep re-rolling them because they kept giving me good books, but none of the books I needed. I got Mending, Protection 2, and Efficiency at the end of the day. Now it was time for resource gathering. But before that, I waited till night to trap a zombie. I don't know if I'll ever get the chance in these 100 days where I can cure a villager, but I thought it was smarter to at least prepare for it. On day 79, I had accidentally created a blacksmith. I had found out that clay can be used at a much lower cost when working with them than a Fletcher who hasn't been re-educated. Yes, I'm going to say re-educate rather than saying tainted, then cured, then tainted again. All for the selfish needs of a Minecraftian. However, most of this day was spent on re-rolling the rest of the villagers. I had gotten looting 3, and it was such a waste to have to re-roll because you'll see at the end, I really needed that looting 3. I spent day 80 re-rolling and hunting for clay. For some reason, the mason had changed his trades from 4 to 10. I had hoped picking up the stonecutter and placing it back down would get him to change his mind, but at the end of the day, he didn't. I needed the emeralds anyway, so I gave in and paid him for his overcharged clay. On day 81, I had to venture out a bit more for more iron so I can complete this anvil. But when I came back, it was time to combine these books onto my armor. Day 82, this was such a waste of the day. I had accidentally let lava out and let it meet its best friend, water. Now, usually water and lava, they tolerate each other. But when water gets too excited and gets in lava's personal space, well, lava gets shocked back into its shell. So I had went out to get more lava because the one I had got turned into obsidian. On my way back, I had picked up some clay and then bred the dogs one more time. On day 83, I came to the realization that these days were going by a lot quicker, and I was nowhere ready. I finally put my protection on my armor, but as soon as I was done, the anvil broke before I could add any more. Is this a new feature? Because I don't remember this in Minecraft. Time for nether preparation. I had forgotten about the Protection 3 and Unbreaking 3 book I had, and I didn't realize until right then and there. Such a waste. I went into the nether, and this was a perfect spawn. I had the fortress right next to it, and it was time to go explore. I built a staircase up the fortress, and I did this really carefully. And as soon as I got there, I had found a gang of withers just waiting for me. Now it was time to devise a plan. Before I could devise my plan, mistakes were made, and I panic ran. Put down lava, but they took no damage. I wasn't expecting that. Now I had to think of a whole nother plan. At the end of this day, I came to the conclusion that pitfalls and trapdoors would be perfect for this. But to do that, I needed to go back to base. On day 84, I got what I needed and it was time to go back. Please wish me luck. I found nether warts, which means I might be able to cure the villagers eventually. But probably not in these 100 days. Found obsidian and a saddle. The obsidian was so I could make an enchantment table. Then I found diamonds. At this rate, I might even be able to make a diamond pick or a helmet. I finished my death trap and just hope it's enough to kill them. But yeah, I made the mistake of not making it wide enough, so I came up with a different way, since they're kinda dumb. I left the middle piece closed and the other trapdoors open, so they just kinda walk to their death. Now it was time to fast track this process. Day 85 was mostly spent making a staircase down so I could check on the dead loot drops. I probably could have used hoppers and chests to do the same thing I did with my animal farm, but I didn't have enough iron or time to really set this up. So I continued the process of dropping them in and going down to check on the loot. Day 86, holy hell, I almost died due to a slime. How ironic. Anyway, after that close encounter, I decided to wait the rest of the day in an enclosed little space I had made to protect myself. I'd spent days 86 through 90 just attempting to get a single wither skull. I kept leading withers, dropping them to their death, checking the loot on repetition until I realized it wasn't possible. Like, I even went into a creative world just to test this theory out, where I just spammed wither eggs and nothing. So it was time for me to get a sword with looting 3 and take on these withers. I know I have to break my pacifist nature, but it was the only way I could see me getting some skulls before day 100. I had to pick up the sword because in this case it was mightier than the pen. But at the end of the day, I was going to go back to my base, wash these now soaked in wither skeleton blood hands, and go back to my pacifist nature. On day 91, I made it back to base after mining some quartz for levels and made the enchantment table. Now I wish I would have saved that villager that had looting 3 enchant. I spent the rest of the day getting the enchantment spot max enchanted. I got a beast enchant for my first ever enchant through the table. Silk touch, efficiency 4, unbreaking 3. Honestly, I'm having high hopes for my sword now. First time putting it in, wow. Sharpness 4. Such a good enchant. But I need looting 3. Yes, I had looting 2 on a book, but sadly no iron to make an anvil, so it was up to the enchantment table. The day was coming to an end and still no luck, so I just had to roll the dice. I kept getting crap rolls, and experience is really hard to get as a pacifist, so I just have to go with it. I did what I could do. I took all the bones I had, made bone meal, and farmed and bred my life away for some EXP, and on day 92 I ran out of Lappy. So I have no other option other than getting the first enchant I can get. Having to really get a random enchant given to you by the enchantment table when you're looking for something very specific is heart-wrenching. But, you know, this entire series I've had pretty decent luck, so I went for it. It failed me. Day 93, it had finally happened. I died. Now, the world didn't get deleted, but I had actually died. And to be honest, I'm surprised I lasted as long as I did. This was a rough playthrough, but at least I managed to make it this far by taking the safest way possible on every single outcome. Now, I might have to delete the world at the end of this 100 days, but that won't stop me from at least seeing if my journey was all for nothing. I plan on still summoning the Wither and having my wolves attack it to see if they can defeat it for me. So, I ended the day by getting my stuff back and continuing my Wither hunt. On day 99, I had finally gotten 3 Wither heads. Without looting 3, this was such a process. After getting the heads, I went back to base. It was day 100, and finally I had enough heads, and I was ready to take on the Wither. It was finally time. But after I was done doing this, I was gonna have to delete the world forever. So I said goodbye. A day 100 to 200 is not gonna happen, sadly. But let's see if I can even accomplish my goal for this 100 days. I dug all the way to bedrock, created a small hole in hopes it wouldn't fly too high up. Then I led my dogs there. I actually lost a lot on the way. I probably should have sat them all down prior to this, but I didn't. I finally put on all 3 heads, and it was time to watch them go at it. The Wither spawns, and at first, my dogs were doing damage, and a significant amount at that. But as the Wither blew up more blocks, he started to get out of their reach. I tried to rush in and help them with anything I could, like trying to build up to him so that my dogs actually had a way to hit him, but I got withered and almost died. So as I hid away, I watched my dog struggle to attack him as he just chipped away at my army. At this point, I was on my last couple of ones, and I just had no hope. That's why when my last dog died, I just kind of yeeted myself into the lava to mark a glorious failure of 100 days.